Hey guys, today something new, a little WoW guide, World of Warcraft guide about Vengeance Demon Hunter for 9.2. Um, I'm not sure if I would call it a guide because a guide at the end of the day is something with a lot of information that gives you a tool for every situation, whatever. This is more an overview guide about 9.2, especially because 9.2 is coming up this week, so it's not like somebody can know everything what is happening, but at the end of the day we know a lot of things already about 9.2, uh, about some classes or how this spec will be, how this spec will be. So this is why I want to talk about it. um yeah, today especially about Demon Hunter. It's my favorite spec, my favorite class at the moment, definitely. I played it also last tier now. We got me and my guild got cutting edge a few weeks before now. And yeah, we're looking forward for the next tier. The raid is called Sepulture of the first one, I guess. The raid is starting not this week when it's coming out, it's starting next week, then first with heroic and normal, and then 1 week after it's starting with mythic and all these things. So okay, um let us talk a little bit about the tanks, and especially like in this case the Demon Hunter. First of all, every all the tanks are very well balanced. So from all the healers, from all the DPS, from all the tanks, I would say tanks are the most balanced specs that are existing in this game right now. I think it was the same in the last tier already, but I think it got even more close in 9.2. There's I show you my how I see it at the moment. Okay, here you can see this is how I tier them, how I rank them at the end of the day. Yeah, Broad Paladin is, if you have an S tier, then Broad Paladin is the S tier, because it's the, at the end of the day it's the best one. But I think it was already like this in the last patch, especially for super high playing. So it's like if you are top 100 guild or whatever, or you want to make super high mythic plus rating, there's only the you will see a lot of prot paladins. The next four tanks, the Brewmaster, the Vengeance Demon Hunter, the Blood Decay, the Druid, I rank them as the same, because they have all their strength and weaknesses at the end of the day, and they all very well playable in Mythic Plus and in Raid. This tier list is for Mythic Plus and Raid. The only thing that maybe you could change is putting the Druid down in the B tier in Mythic Plus, and in Raid, and put the Warrior even one more down then if you put the Druid, because the Druid is still a little bit better than the Protection Paladin, but I think they're so similar, and I like to give the people more a good feeling about the class than a bad feeling, because yeah, you can also say now, okay, no, put the Druid more down, put this more down. No, but at the end they are really all the same. For example, the Druid can be super tanky or can do good damage. He cannot make both, so you have a little bit to decide. This is why some people think he should only be B tier especially for raiding. As you can see, okay, the Protection Pala is the least good one. It's the same. Protection Warrior is the same for Mythic Plus. So if I would have the decision by myself as a tank, I would say play every tank class that you want, because they're all playable. If you're not consider to play Warrior, then keep Warrior away, because it is the least good one. But there's also the highest chance that the Warrior get any buffs because of that. But all of them can get little buffs, besides definitely Paladin, he will not receive any buffs. So if one of the other classes get a buff, it can easily get to the first place maybe. So that leads us a little to the strength and weaknesses, especially now of the Demon Hunter. I mean, at the end of the day, you maybe know them without without that I showing them to you. But let us talk about it quick. So Demon Hunter, the strengths are powerful burst opening. It's super nice to catch aggro in every kind of situation, in raid and also in Mythic Plus. Strong and frequently usable cooldowns. That's super nice, especially with the trinkets. We talk a little bit later about the trinkets. So if you have good trinkets, you active use trinkets, then you can time them so nice that you nearly have all the time something up. Feels very strong then. And you know, well around, you have a lot of self healing, damage reduction, consistent AoE damage. That's especially for Mythic Plus super nice. That's why in Mythic Plus, in the lower key rankings, I would even say Demon Hunter is S tier. Maybe even is the best tank. But as I said, in low keys, with low keys, I don't talk about a +5 or a +10. I talk about let us say between 12 and 20. It could be the best tank. Precise and frequent mobility. I mean, you know how mobile is it beat to Demon Hunter if you play it. I saw it especially this tier also with in M Plus, but I also saw it a lot in the fight like Painsmith, for example. Yeah, and that many people forget about this because especially in the raid you have usually also a damage Demon Hunter. That's why the people don't care so much about it, but it brings the debuff, the Chaos Brand. And the Chaos Brand is a is a very strong debuff at the end of the day. It buffs all your casters damage. So if your raid group has no damage Demon Hunter, it's mandatory that the tank is a Demon Hunter because you need that debuff for all the mages, warlock, balance druids, whatever you know that is makes cast damage. And in Mythic Plus, when you have a caster composition, so if you go with a mage, a warlock, and a elemental shaman, then yeah, they just do more damage with a Demon Hunter. They don't even have to play better, they just do more damage. So for me, it's a very nice debuff. A lot of people underestimate it. Let us talk a little quick about the weaknesses. Low active mitigation uptime. So yeah, that means a little bit like you have a lot of cooldowns. You can work nice around them, but if you all the time get a lot of damage, and this is when we talk about high Mythic Plus, for example, 24 plus or something like this keys, then it could be that you run out of cooldowns, and when you run out of cooldowns, then you fall pretty quick. And this is the time to shine, or was the time to shine in the last tier for the druid and for the paladin. Okay. No, you know universal damage reduction abilities. Yeah, you cannot reduce the damage for everything, but Fury Brand, you need a target. But for me, it's a very strong cooldown, the Fury Brand. So I'm not sure if I would say this is a weakness, but okay, let us go with it. Healing does not work on environmental damage. Okay, fine. Single target damage is lackluster, and that's, in my opinion, the biggest weakness of the Demon Hunter, especially in raiding. You just have no single target damage. Maybe this is something that they will slightly buff. I really hope for that. If yes, then I think Demon Hunter will be a very strong tank. If not, then he will definitely have a problem with single target damage. At the end of the day, you have to work around it. Um, you can go for maybe a offensive trinket. That could be a solution. But you know, if you have an offensive trinket, then it leads directly to the thing about the low active mitigation uptime. So it's always, yeah, always not easy to be on the right scale there with Demon Hunter. But that also makes it fun to play, in my opinion. Let us super quick talk about the talents. The talents, I mean, at the end of the day, there are two builds. I think every Demon Hunter player knows it. This is the completely normal Fury Brand build that you can see here with the agonizing flames, with burning alive, charred flesh, fractured, weakened sigils. In some situations, you know, Sickle of Chains is super powerful, demonic, and last resort. And there's the spirit bomb build. You just go to fallout because more soul fragments, and you go to the spirit bomb. That's a spirit bomb build. I highly prefer this build. Um, why? I mean, at the end of the day, I think this build makes you really a tank. The other build is more like a DPS with that can tank. This is fine for a lot of situations, but also a lot of other players, especially the healers, they complain about you if you are a spirit bomber. Sometimes they even write in the looking for group tool, hey, please no spirit bomber, because yeah, you know, you are so hard to heal, and one misplay you die, and for example, the key is depleted or it's a wipe in the raid. But in the raid, I think there's no reason in the raid to play the spirit bomb build. I'm not even sure if it makes more damage then, maybe yes. But I would highly prefer the burning alive charred flesh, so the normal fury brand build. That's just how it is at the end of the day. That's just the go-to. Um, if you can play the class super well, definitely try the Spirit Bomb build hours. It's a very fun build, and as I said, especially when you play some low keys, when you help to push some keys with your friends, when you sell some keys and want to make them super fast done and things like this, it's for re-clearing the raid, maybe in heroic mode or something like this. Is a super nice build that makes you like a you are 75. Oh, no, let me say you are 60% the DPS with this build and only 40% the tank. With the Fury brand, you are, yeah, 80, like a tank, 80-90% the tank, 10-20% the DPS. Okay, now let us come to the thing in 9.2 that we talk about. Setboni. We have now setboni again in 9.2, so they get important for every class. For the Demon Hunter, I think they are decent. You can see them here. The 2 set bonus, Burning Hunger. Damage dealt by Immolation Aura has a 10% chance to generate a Lesser Soul Fragment. Okay. We all know Lesser Soul Fragments are never bad. It's good. It's okay. It's a okay 2 set bonus. The 4 set bonus makes it good. Rapacious Hunger. Consuming a Lesser Soul Fragment reduces the remaining cooldown of your Immolation Aura or Fell Devastation by 1 second. More Immolation Aura, more Fell Devastation is more damage, and with Fell Devastation also more tankiness and more self heal at the end of the day. So very good 4 set bonus in my opinion. The only problem is the biggest lag that the Vengeance Demon Hunter has, the Tank Demon Hunter has, is the single target damage, and that gives you nothing for single target damage. So your biggest problem is not solved or not attacked, yeah, with this setboni. So they are good. Maybe a little bit of something difference there, or a little buff, I don't know, could make Demon Hunter super strong. So Do I think Demon Hunter will get buffed? I don't know. I don't know. I cannot predict it. But there's always a little chance. And I see no chance for the Demon Hunter gets a nerf. So the only chance is it would get a buff. And if Demon Hunter would get a buff, then we could become super strong in this raid here. That's it about the setboni. You can Google them by themselves if you want. They are not like wow, super fancy or something like this. At the end, more soul fragments, more uptime with immolation aura, more frequently fell devastation. It only reduces the remaining cooldown of the one that is on cooldown. If both are on cooldown, I think it's randomized who get 1 second cooldown reduction, so it is fine. Now let us talk about something important, something nice. Everybody is waiting for it. Everybody will get stronger with it. I think there are only 1 or 2 specs that have like kind of zero benefit with double legendaries. This is something very nice for a Demon Hunter because we have good legendaries. As you can see here, Blind Faith is the how is our covenant called? The Kyrian covenant is our legendary from the covenant, and it's a very nice legendary. A lot of player played it already in the end of the last tier, so it was even the strongest one. It brings you a lot of things, and the other legendaries that you combine with it are the Dark Lair Boon, the Fury Soul that I already mentioned, and how is the last one called? The Rasalix Defilement. Just give me a second and I talk with you exactly what I mean. Okay, the Fury brand we know it's reducing the cooldown. Let us see the double legendary thing. Yeah, here. The Blind Faith is Elysian Decree shatters 2 additional lesser soul fragments and grants you Blind Faith for 20 seconds. And this time, for each lesser soul fragment you consume while Blind Faith is active, you gain 1% versatility and 10 fury. What does it mean? It means you make more damage. I mean, we talk about versatility at the end. You make more damage and you get less damage. Super nice for a tank. I love versatility. Dark Laboon, you know, it's the one that has a 40% chance of reducing the cooldown of the Fell Devastation. It's a little bit lucky, but I mean 40% is not less, so it's fine. Fury Soul, each soul fragment consumed by Soul Cleave reduce the cooldown of Fury Brand by 2 seconds, and the Resolix Defilement is the one that reduces the cooldown of the Elysian Decree for damage. Okay, so in general, a lot of people think that Dark Lair Boon will be the general one that you can always go. Fury Soul is the one that makes you really tanky, in my opinion, together with Blind Faith. And Wrestling is just for DPS, so I would not play it like this. So Blind Faith with Dark Lair Boon or with Fury Soul, I think I will prefer more the Fury Soul build because you will be a real tank with it. Maybe you can go for a DPS trinket when you go for this build instead of the other one. But okay, at the end it's you know, like you have to feel it. Same is going on for Mythic Plus. It's exactly the same. Fury Soul for being tanky, Dark Lair Boon for general use, and the Reselix for just making more damage. There's a single target alternative for when you go Ventier. I will not talk a lot about it, but it's possible. You can do it, but I definitely prefer and recommend the Kyrian build. So last but not least, let us talk about the equip. Like I already mentioned, I love versatility, and the other one that you should go for is haste. So you try to get haste and versatility every on every one of your things here, items. So if you get this done, you will, yeah, you will be very strong. Make more damage, getting less damage. You have less cooldown on immolation aura and things like this because of your haste. It's just nice for you. On the other side, you know, item level is super important. So usually I would always recommend, especially in the first few weeks, item level overall. So go for the item level and then later on collect the pieces with haste and versa. Um, if you only have pieces with the let me say the bad attributes that you don't need, the bad secondary stats, I mean, okay, then maybe you can think about if you really want to wear them or you want more haste and versa. But at the end of the day, it's definitely item level. And then I think many people say haste and versa are the same. I prefer definitely versa, so I would go for more versa. I also have the, you see that the gems in versa or the enchants in versa, but it's, everybody has a different taste. Something interesting is the trinket situation. Yeah, we will lose the shard of the Aegis, we will lose it. Directive defensive matrix, we will lose it. So blood scale we keep. So what does it mean? Blood spreader scale will be super important. I definitely recommend you to go for it as soon as possible. So try to go for the dungeon as often as you can. The other side, it's not a very high dungeon in my opinion, but this trinket has a big value. It gives you exactly what you need as a vengeance demon hunter. It gives you damage, our AoE damage. It gives you burst, and it gives you this defensive cooldown that you are sometimes lacking of. This is why it's so sad that we lose the shard, because that was for me a super nice combination. The offensive trinkets, they will still be available. The one from Blakefall, the file will still be available, so definitely you can go for this. So the offensive options will be kind of the same. The file, I think the file and the scale get a 10% nerf, but that doesn't mean a lot. They are still very good. We will see if I think there's one defensive trinket in the raid. If this will be very good, we will see it. If yes, okay, then go for it. Also depends on which boss it's dropping and stuff like this, but okay. Besides that, maybe the Tassavesh trinket, but we also talk about a damage trinket in this case. It's called here the Ticking Sack of Terror. So go for the Blood Skate. This is definitely a must-go trinket in my opinion, and the other trinket we will see. If you have the Aegis on 252, maybe you can keep this for the first few weeks, and then you will see what is going on at the end of the day with the trinkets, and you can go for the one that fits your playstyle the most or your needs the most. So at the end, that's it. I'm looking forward for Demon Hunter. I'm excited about. Tanks are all very well balanced. So when you play Demon Hunter, stay with your Demon Hunter. You will have a lot of fun with it. Here on this channel, we'll definitely follow some guides, commentaries about Mythic Plus. I think also boss plays and all these things. At the moment, I did a lot of Hearthstone, and I will keep doing Hearthstone content, but I will come back with content from WoW because I love the game. So just enjoy it, have fun, and we see us in the next few weeks in the stream, in YouTube, or maybe even online. So good luck, guys. Have fun, and see you. Bye bye.